Happy Halloween, Ringside crew, and welcome to another episode, a spooky episode today on the internationally known Dudes of Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and yes, I'm wearing a Ghostbusters hat. Shh, nobody has to know. It's a separate universe. Today is Halloween, and why not have a stable that would like tie me in my basement upside down if I didn't invite them on the podcast? Introduce yourself to the wrestling community of the world.
Hello, we are the Exiled. We are individually. I'm Zero. This is No One.
And I'm Heart Eater Moxie.
She's our demon mother.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm glad I actually opened the message and I saw it because I was like scared if I didn't. My phone started getting really hot in my hand and I got worried. I was like, oh yes, I'll do it. Fine. So what made you guys get into the wrestling business?
We all kind of got into it like separately and like came together, and it's weird because like we're all from the Midwest. Like
What's even funnier?
We didn't really like all know. Do you guys know each other for a long time before you moved out here?
No, 2015 is when I met him.
Okay, so yeah, and they used to like wrestle back in like Illinois, Indiana area.
Yep.
And then I grew up in Illinois as well. And when we moved out here, they moved out like a few months after I had already lived out here and was starting to like get involved in wrestling. And we just all started training at the same place, and that's kind of like what brought us all together, like in wrestling.
So. Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, just for me, like it was the ladder match between Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys at No Mercy of '99. That was the moment I realized I was hooked as a wrestling fan, and then yarding with some friends, and then kind of like taking that a little bit more seriously, and then training, and then now we're here.
Awesome. So when you all took your first steps in the training facility that you guys all trained in, like what were you thinking when you first time walked in the training facility and sat down, and like what were you thinking? Like what was your first thoughts?
Holy shit, this hurts.
My first time, I was actually kind of surprised. I like grew up doing a lot of like jujitsu, so a lot of things were like more familiar to me than I thought they were gonna be. And like when I first joined, I was like really scared I was gonna be really bad at it. And then I was like doing really, really well for like my, for like basics. And it just like got me really excited about it because I was like, oh, I know a lot of these things already. I know how to do like all the roles and everything properly. So like getting into it was like a lot of fun for me. Like I still like, I enjoy like just training and like rolling around and everything. Like it makes me so happy.
The learning aspect is a lot of fun. Trying to get in, trying to figure out what fits you as a person or what would make sense for your individual person, like as a wrestler itself. So like being around a bunch of people in a training facility is really fun because you get to bounce ideas off of like 10 different minds, and then everyone there is very helpful, or everyone there can pick you up and then try to like guide you to a specific direction if you don't know what you're doing. But the training facility that I was at where I met him, everybody there was extremely helpful. They were very welcoming into the business, which was very nice. I didn't necessarily expect that. So like it was very nice. And then coming out here was a total different world.
Culture shock.
Definitely. Yeah, the West Coast is a hell of a lot different than the Midwest. That's for damn sure. And ever since then, like she said, the learning aspect was just a lot of fun.
So who trained all of you? Who trained you guys like individually?
So
go in order. Go ahead. You starting from the beginning?
Well, okay, so from the beginning, I'll say the three of us where we trained together was Versus Pro Studios. When they were still located in the Boulevard Mall in Las Vegas. We started training there together. We trained with Project West.
Yep.
And Deshade as well. And did we have any other trainers at the time?
The occasional pop-ins of Cutthroat Cody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or
Cal Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I blanking on his name? Ricky Mandel. Ricky
Ricky
Mandel also
Mandel,
popped
yeah,
in.
Ricky Mandel used to do
I'm
like a
sorry.
lot of training there as well.
I'm sorry, Ricky. Don't hit me.
So yeah, we had a main couple like at Versus and then also some like other trainers that would come in and do like different classes as well. And then like currently like we kind of all like train like in different spots now. Like the Vegas scene is kind of like a lot different like this past year. Like I currently train with Cutthroat Cody. He's like my main trainer right now. And then there's a few like other trainers at like FSW that I go to their classes sometimes, or there's like some like more experienced wrestlers that I learn a lot from like while I'm there as well.
So, out of all the people that trained you guys, whose advice did you like take the most from like your character and like your wrestling styles?
For me, it would have been Project West. He has been a huge help to the both of us. The moment we stepped in Vegas to really kind of sit us down and iron out anything that we learned from when we first started back in Illinois. And he's also been very detrimental in how we view wrestling going forward. So I'd say he's been the biggest help. And then, next to him would be Cutthroat Cody here in Vegas. He's also, anytime he would be around us, he would always just kind of pop in wherever he would see anything that needed to be, tightened or
fixed,
anything that, he thought would like look a little bit better. He would always be just a helping hand. He was never there to like say what you did was wrong. He just said, let's try this and make it a little bit better. Both him and Wes did the same thing. And it's both of them have been very, very helpful to us.
So let's go a little bit further. What was each individually your energy like when the first time you went through the curtain? Like, it wouldn't be like your tag team debut, but like just your first matches.
Oh, first matches.
So
you go first. Yeah.
So funnily enough, when I first debuted in Illinois, it was under a brand called Project Revolution Wrestling, and I debuted under a different tag team, and I was in a fatal 4-way tag match. So it was me and my friend versus 3 other teams, and there was maybe like 15 people in the crowd. So like some people were like cheering just because like we're wrestlers, but other people were just kind of like waiting to see what the hell we do. And it was weird. It was just very weird. Like I didn't know like what to expect. All I knew is like I was excited that I was doing something that I was pursuing. But like the match was okay, like it was fine. But like I think afterwards, I think I was just excited that it like whatever I was like putting my time and effort into, it was happening. So for me, my very first match was just weird.
What was yours?
Mine was a fatal 4-way in 2010, and I got eliminated pretty much instantly. So,
my first match, I actually did under my current gimmick, Heart Eater Moxie, which was like 3 years ago at this point. So I think 2021 was like my first match. And it was like an LGBT show that we did at Versus. And I got to fight Jody himself for my first match. And it was a lot of fun. It was terrifying, and like I just had like tunnel vision the whole time. And it honestly, like, it felt like I like went through the curtain and just like blacked out, and then like came through the curtain like completely like blown. And I just like I like remembered it happening, but it just felt like unreal. And it's kind of funny, like even though like I've now gotten more used to us like coming out for entrances and stuff, like the like pre-match jitters are still there, but it's like slowly now it's like that like tunnel vision is like kind of gone away more and more, and now I like see the crowd more and like see like what's like how to interact with like the audience and the characters like in the shows like better, because that first one it just felt like move. I was like so terrified of like messing something up, but I
think we all would at our very first match. We don't want to screw anything up.
I still don't want to
So what made you guys become like this this stable, like what was the thought process to like when you guys decided to get together? Like were you thinking of like doing this kind of stable, or like was this something you guys always thought of when you first met each other?
No, when him and I first met, honestly, my very first feud was against him. It was the tag team I was in and the tag team he was in. That was my first feud. So like, and then we just became friends after that. So after talking about like just moving to go somewhere else to wrestle, when he had the idea to come out to Vegas, and he was just like, well, he's like, you can come out with me. We can just be a team out there. You know, it would be probably a little bit more simple. So we did. Our first foray into Vegas as a tag team wasn't necessarily the Exiled. It was under a different banner and a different umbrella. Totally different gimmick. It worked out for a minute, but I think him and I got bigger than the gimmick itself. So we had to expand and do something different, which is where she came in. But
because there was like a certain point in time where like you guys were doing this gimmick and they were kind of like the henchmen, but then like they were doing so well in their matches that it was like the henchmen looked cooler than the boss.
Yeah.
And also just like it just didn't like fit, like the gimmick itself didn't really like fit who they are, you know, like they're metal kids, they're all alternative kids, and like I am too, like I'm a goth girl myself. So it kind of naturally happened like between like Project West like first getting involved with us. The group like originally started with Beast, one of his alternate gimmicks, and also Millhouse, who runs Pride Style, kind of like helped put us all together to like see how it would mesh, because they were kind of like looking for something new, like a new manager and a new like look to them. And I was kind of like slowly coming back from injury. So I like had a major injury, which meant like I couldn't wrestle, but I was well enough that I could still manage and be involved in shows. And I always had like a really good, like distinct look to my character. And then it was kind of just like take that look, give them like part of that look as well, and kind of like make the thing mesh together. And like it, at first, like we didn't have a whole lot of bumps in the road, but like it came together really smoothly, like over time. Like once we kind of like got it together better, we were doing like Pride Style shows more frequently. And like the crowd just started like cheering us after a while. Like it was really interesting. We have such like an easy heel looking gimmick, because it's just very dark and goth, and I'm like crazy and covered in blood like for the matches. But people like us so much that it's like I still act crazy and psycho, and then they can still be kind of like angsty and mean, and but it's cool. Like it works in our favor, like as faces, because it gives us like more of an edge than just trying to be like cool and happy and fun for shows, or you know, like that kind of generic baby face stuff.
So would you guys ever like, I know it's the three of you guys, but like would you ever do like a Ministry of Darkness, and like if there's another stable you saw that, here we go, if there was anybody that's on your chain of wrestling, like the way you guys wrestle, like I say chain, but it's like, you know, like the area you're in,
Yeah.
anybody you've seen that you're like thinking if they were in our stable, it would pop. So who or what stable would you want to merge with that you've seen on that you've never wrestled around yet?
Well, actually, the Exile has had like 20 different tag partners that,
Yeah.
So we've already basically kind of had a form of a Ministry of Darkness. Like we've tagged with Cutthroat Cody, we've tagged with Beast the Butcher, we've tagged with Damian Drake. He's actually part of the Exile. He's just not here right now. Who else? We've had.
Yeah, we like what we started doing, and it was kind of accidental, but like because we didn't really have a third to wrestle since I was the manager. Like anytime like a triple threat kind of thing came up for us, we always had like a rotating member of the Exiled. So we've had like several people that like fit the like gimmick kinda, or like we like make them work to the gimmick. Like I do like all of our face paint for the show. So like when we do a rotating member, we usually like get someone who either does their face paint or I do their face paint for them, and they like come out with us like as if they are part of the Exiled. Like even if it's like one night only. And I think it's actually been one of the coolest parts of doing this, because even though like we're not a huge stable, like we're not coming out with like 6 or 7 members, like this like big ass group or anything, but like we've had that like frequently where it's like who's teaming with like the Exiled like for this show, and sometimes it's people who really fit like the like goth alt scene aesthetic, and sometimes it's people like completely out of left field that would never fit it, and it almost like makes it like 10 times more funny when like all of a sudden they're all gothed up and they're like part of the Exiled and everything.
That's like the thing. There's like tons of wrestlers out there that are like bubbly and happy that I've noticed in the Midwest. There's like one female wrestler that I don't know, I can't remember her name offhand, but she's like a hippie character. She's like from the Midwest. I can't think of her name, but it would be a hilarious like adding to like the booker needs somebody backstage and it's during a show and you guys are like, okay, like find like the bubbliest, sweetest character that would be such a happy, bubbly face, and you just say, okay, fine. You just join the stable and everybody's acting all scary and she's all like, peace out, we're love, and you're like, ugh, hippie. Ugh.
So honestly, the person that would pop up to mind if we could ever get her to join would be Brittany Brooks. She would be funny. She would be so funny to join us. I think that would be.
Barbie joins the clan. Yeah, oh God, Barbie joins the clan.
Barbie goes goth.
Barbie goth.
I think that would be so hilarious.
It's like that episode of Boy Meets World when Corey's brother breaks up with the girl that plays the guitar and she becomes a goth.
Yes, exactly.
You know the episode I'm talking about, right?
I do. Love that show.
Oh, here we go. Now we're gonna go into the fun Halloween side of the interview. If you had to do a top 10 all-time favorite Halloween, well, there's 3 of you, so it's gonna have to be a top 15 all-time favorite Halloween movies. What would be in your top? Like each of you has to do like say your top.
If we're doing 15, each of us can do like 5.
I might not even get to 5. I might forget some stuff. Jeez. I can like just rattle off a few horror movies that I like, I guess. But like, I really love 28 Days Later. That's one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite like zombie movie.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Evil Dead, if that can count for like all of the Evil Deads and Army of Darkness, and
you can steal all of them.
Yeah, no, I mean like that's like filling up the list. That's like a ton of movies, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Man, I'm trying to think of some other ones.
So off top of my head, for me, the VHS series has been very good.
Oh, that was really good.
I really like those. Child's Play series. I'm a big Freddy fan. I love Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
So those are 3 for me. I gotta think of 2 more.
I like slashers.
Yeah.
So Halloween, Friday the 13th, those are my kind of movies. I've also been getting into the like 80s horror movies. So Killer Clowns, stuff like that. I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's great.
Oh, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I really love like comedy horror movies too.
If we're throwing in comedy,
Shaun of the Dead.
Damn it, I was getting ready to say
Shaun of the Dead's a huge one.
Love Shaun of the Dead.
I really loved Cabin in the Woods too. That's also like it's a little bit more serious, but it's definitely still like ridiculous and funny.
Oh, and
like,
then anything
trying to be very cheeky.
And for me, anything Rob Zombie's touch. I love Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects are my top 2 from him.
What did you think of the Jason movie he did? Was it like good or did it fall flat for you guys?
He did Jason? Oh, I thought he did Halloween.
He did Halloween.
I thought it was Jason. Who did Jason?
He did a different take on Michael, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. But a lot of my horror friends hated it just because they're too focused on like what John Carpenter originally wanted. But like it's a different set of eyes on that story, and I really enjoyed both of them actually.
Yeah, I kind
So-
of feel that way about like the Evil Dead remakes.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
actually really dope. I get that they're like taken like more seriously as horror films instead of trying to be as goofy as the original ones. But I've enjoyed the first one and the second one that came out like not that long ago. They're really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Wait, did everybody get all their horror movies in?
I think collectively
I
we
think
hit
so.
15 somewhere.
I wouldn't miss anybody and be like, I didn't get mad in. Like, okay,
I'm
here
gonna add
we
in another one. Boogeyman 2 was like out of that series, just the second one.
Just
My
phenomenal.
parents are actually watching Boogeyman right now. Oh, God, I mean,
Hell yeah.
Santa's Sleigh with Goldberg.
oh God.
That's a great movie.
Oh,
And
no.
so is
Oh, no.
Thanksgiving. That's a great
Hmm.
movie as well.
Did you guys ever see Get Out?
Mhm.
Yeah. I
We
actually
just
had-
watched it, and me and my parents, I've seen it, and me and my mom were going the whole time. I swear we've seen this, and then the scene is at the end. We're like this. Yep, we've seen this.
No, that was a fantastic film. I really enjoyed
He's
that
a good director. He's a really he gets you. He grabs you by the hair on your and just like brings you in, and you're like, it's gonna be a happy story about a family. And I'm like, are you all idiots?
one.
You know what he's done with families? He fucks you up. He really fucks you up.
Psychological
movie.
horror is really good too. Anything
Oh.
psychological horror.
Yeah. Have
Well,
you guys been
I
watching
think
the
he
new?
tapped really good on that.
Sorry. Have you been watching the Child's Play show or not yet?
I haven't got to catch the actual show itself.
I have been.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but
The
good things
Chucky
about
show,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, how do you
He's in the White House this year.
Yeah,
He's in the
White-
fucking White House.
House?
That's all I'm gonna
Good.
say is Chucky's
Good.
in the. I'm like, someone better have a bazooka because the Secret Service is. If you've seen that most recent episode, the Secret Service can't fuck with Chucky. Like,
It makes sense.
he made a Secret Service agent just go blah blah.
Oh, that's
Like,
good.
I was like, yeah, no, nope. Chucky just killed a Secret Service agent. Jesus Christ. That's all I did. I was like, in my head, all I saw is that kid, the meme. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Since we're in the best day ever, the orange and the represent the orange and black. What is your all-time favorite Halloween candy
Oh.
to eat
Favorite
or give out? It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm gonna side with the. I don't care if I get hate for this. I love candy corn. I don't give a shit.
I do like candy corn, but I get sick of it so fast. Like,
Sure.
but I do. I have to have like at least a little bit of it, like around this time of year, like every year.
I agree. I'm just a sucker for chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't anything with almonds in it. I don't really fuck with, but like everything else, I'll take. I don't really have a specific.
I like anything that's chocolate and caramel together. So like Twix is fucking great.
Snickers is
Snickers is
Mhm.
always great. Yeah. I like Milk Duds too. I like pulled a tooth out one time, like a loose tooth when I was a little kid by eating Milk Duds in a movie.
Oh
theater.
God.
I mean, honestly,
Did
it
you
was
feel the
perfect.
pain?
I didn't feel a thing.
It was
I was like, dude,
Yeah.
milk. That's milk. It's like.
That's what milk duds are for.
I used to pull my
Yeah,
teeth out when I had
that's
loose
exactly
teeth when I
what
was a
they're
kid.
for.
So. Yeah. So have you guys ever thought of traveling east? And if you have you thought of like coming to New York or like that tri-state area to wrestle?
I would love to.
100%.
I know the biggest fed out there is House of Glory, that Amazing Red runs.
I
would
know
love-
House of Glory.
I would love to work there. That's probably the biggest one out of the East Coast that I know of. I know there's some Jersey feds that are popping off pretty well right now.
Yeah, ISPW is good. I know them. They're in Jersey. Tom Fioro is the owner. A promotion. I live in PA, so there's a promotion. I'm always gonna give them a shout out because they're really cool with me. They're called PPW.
Okay.
And actually, I wish I had a chance to speak to you guys earlier, way before October. They're doing their Halloween show. PPW Lives on Saturday night.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, I'm like, they're doing a trios match, like tournament,
Oh,
Damn.
dope.
Hey, we'd be
to
perfect.
crown their first ever trios champion.
Hey, that sounds dope.
I gotta send you the PPW information on Insta because the tournament's going to end in November. So you never know. We may see the Exiled pop in the tournament in November.
Do you ever go? I think it's in Pittsburgh. Do you go to the Enjoy Wrestling shows?
You're gonna have to send me the Instagram because I live in like the Poconos part of the Pennsylvania area, which
Okay.
is like I feel like I have to like pray and figure out because I live in Pike County, so it feels like living in the 90s out here. If there's a wrestling show, it's only because you see a poster on a wall or you hear a person. You like wrestling? Oh, there's a poster right there. Go read that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary because I've been in this state for 16 years. I've only seen 2 independent wrestling shows in my area, and those are the last 2 shows they ever did in my area.
Damn.
Because the high school let them do the shows, didn't say anything after the second show. The promoter didn't put a pad underneath the ring, and it scratched the basketball floor.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I've heard stories
And
like that a lot.
It's a good way to lose the location.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was so mad. I'm like, what do you mean I'm never gonna? It's like I'm like that meme. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm never gonna see a wrestling show in my area again? I have to travel to when I go see PBW. I have to travel all the way to Slatington, PA. That's like an hour and like 40 minutes just to go see wrestling.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people wonder why I'm so amped to be there. I'm like, it's like a hyperactive kid after eating a bag of Snickers. I'm like,
Yeah.
I look like what's his name eating drinking the Slurpee.
That's kind of how I felt. Like the area I grew up in, Illinois, the closest big city to me was St. Louis. That was 2 hours south of where I lived. So like anything wrestling related never came anywhere near me. So I either had to go to Chicago or go to St. Louis. So either way, I was traveling.
I kind of fib. Either I have to go to New Jersey, go see my sister in Brooklyn, or go to Slatington. That's my 3 choices. Or go and bite the bullet because I'm Mr. Independent Wrestling and go see WWE in Wilkes-Barre, PA. And I'm like, I'm going to go to this show and nobody's going to know who I am.
Fair.
Like, there's another promotion that's in New York that I'm surprised you didn't even hear about. They're called Warriors of Wrestling. They're based out of Staten Island.
Okay.
A lot of good wrestlers. They get a lot of big names from like AEW and Impact.
Oh, cool.
They have a female wrestler coming in from England again. Expo is XIA. She's a female wrestler with blonde hair. She's from England. Have you guys ever thought of traveling?
Zaya Brookside? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Zaya. Yeah. Have you guys ever thought of traveling abroad? And if you have, like, where would you guys like to travel?
So immediately, I'm gonna say Japan.
Yeah,
I have an obsession. I have an obsession with Japan, and I really want to go there. Like, the moment I found out that wrestling wasn't just on TV and it was like independent promotions to be had, the very first independent promotion I found was Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor introduced me to a lot of Japanese stars. Kenta being the biggest one. Immediately fell in love with him. Followed him back to where he was wrestling in Noah, and then I found All Japan because they were still running at the time, and then New Japan. So I found 3 promotions within the matter of like months, and I immediately dove headfirst into Japanese pro wrestling. And the styles were different. The crowd was different. It's everything about it. It was like a 180 from how Americans put on a wrestling promotion. But everything was so crisp. Everything was clean. They hit harder. It just looked like everything was just disgusting and in a great way. So Japan is my number one. And then I think after that would be like England.
So for you guys, if there was like a promoter that came up to you and asked you to do like a really crazy stipulated match, would you like, what is like your stipulation that you're like, we can't do that?
I don't know. What's too far for you guys?
What's too far for you?
I don't have to do anything, so I'm okay with any stipulation.
He just sits back and does the magic and hopes you got and praise you guys.
Yeah, I just cast spells.
I'm okay with technically anything. I haven't found anything that I wouldn't take yet. I watch a lot of CZW, so like a lot of death matches I've seen, I'm just like, oh, that'd be fun, but I also hate myself. So, what's off limits for you?
I'm basically the opposite of him. I don't like anything going into my skin. I don't like getting cut by anything. So, I'm not a huge deathmatch guy.
Yeah, the last tag match we had in Pride Style, I took skewers for the first time. That was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was dope. I think if for me personally, like glass is the only thing that like really freaks me out. Like anything, I could do thumbtacks.
Sure.
Like I don't think it would bother me that much. Like it'd be kind of intimidating.
I'm getting
And barbed wire maybe, but glass really freaks me out. It's just like
I think the only time I've ever cringed seeing a spot happen was one of the Tournament of Death matches in CZW. Someone took a weed whacker to the chest.
What?
It was an old, like, I want to say like 2008, 2009 CZW, but that spot was glorious. Because like it was at night and all you saw was the spotlights on the ring. So like the camera was behind the spotlight, and then when the dude took it, you just saw the blood in a mist.
There's a video that one of the wrestlers sent me on Instagram that I posted on the Joe Panther Variety Show. It's on my shorts. It's these a male and female wrestler. They're wrestling each other in a death match, and they're on top of a scaffolding. And the girl, female wrestler, the guy's gonna jump down, do something, and she just grabs him by his balls, and he's like, and then she like lets him go down a little bit. And she pushes him off the thing, and she hits him in the head. I'm wrong. She hits him in the head with the life tube, and then he starts like, and she shoves him off the scaffold, and he falls to the table, and light tubes fall up and break. And here, like shooting the horns. Everybody's freaking out because he falls, gets hit in the head with the light tube, and then she shoves him off the thing like Simba from Lion King.
I wonder if that was Sawyer Rick. I've seen her do some crazy shit.
I have to. You have to go watch it after. I'll send you the. I'll send your manager the clip. I'll send her like the actual the link for the channel so you could all watch it. Oh my gosh, you guys can make a reaction video to the video.
I'd be with it. I enjoy death matches. I do. I think there's a certain way to go about them without it being too over the top, and if you do it correctly, I think it'll be entertaining and just entertaining. I don't know what I was trying to go for after that, but mainly just entertaining. Yeah, I think certain styles of death matches, I think they're just really fun to watch. I'm entertained at least.
Yeah. I used to watch like a lot of CCW death matches too, and I was pretty into them. I'm like a big like Moxley Callahan fan, especially like when they were doing death matches a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And but now like sometimes I watch them, I kind of feel like there's quite a few of them that lack a little bit of story. It's just kind of like endless weapon usage. That kind of bores me.
Sure,
and sometimes I feel like, wow, that's a lot of blood wasted. But usually, when you got like two incredibly talented people, especially if they're really good at death matches. Like,
I think if it's structured properly, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, if Nick Gage is doing it, I mean, he kills it every time. Like, I'm always entertained by every one of the death matches he pulls off.
It's good that like certain wrestlers know what they're doing with the death match scene, but like there's some wrestlers that they're just there just to fuck things up. It's like, I'm here. You're gonna book them because they will come and make the crowd go crazy when they throw someone through a glass like sheet or like my first solo interview I did with dudes was from GCW. It was not GCW. No, it was H2O.
Okay.
Female wrestler, Lady Blakely. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar with her work though.
She's really good. She's cuckoo, but she's good. She's a good wrestler. Lady, don't kill me. You came on my podcast. I bruise easy. My glasses break easily. These are the originals. But before we go, guys, if our fans would like to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
You start.
Mine is the Exiled _0, but instead of an O, it's an actual 0 on Instagram, and I think it's the same thing on X or Twitter or whatever the hell it's called.
Mine is the Exiled _N0.1.
No one. They have to make it as difficult as humanly
really
possible.
do.
They're terrible at marketing.
It's funny.
Mine is just Heart Eater Moxie. No underscores or anything. Heart Eater Moxie. That is every social media that you can find me on, except for Twitter. I don't use that shit anymore. Fuck them.
Me neither.
And also my website too, because I also like make comics and do like illustrations for like our own like graphic art and like t-shirt art and stuff like that.
That's
as well.
cool.
Yeah. So Heart Eater Moxie for everything. Like you can find me all branded.
Look, I tried doing it without the underscore and it wouldn't accept it.
Someone
Okay.
Me too. That's why I had
sorry.
Instagram says dudes _@ ringside. Dudes. That's why that looked like. That's why that looks like that. It doesn't look all. You don't like. Was he drunk when he was doing it? No,
Right.
it's being arrogant. It's being arrogant. I was like _. If our fans want to buy anything from you guys, like merch wise, like how is there anything they could find anywhere they could find it?
We just recently came into the idea of like trying to get something out. We haven't. I think we're just bad at coming up with ideas and then putting them together.
So we have merch. We don't have like an online store for it, unfortunately.
I have an online store.
Oh wait, yeah, you do for some
do.
stickers and pins, right?
On Instagram, there's a Beacons AI link. You click that, it'll take to my store Frontier, and I have Exiled shirts there.
Okay, so we do have some there. We have some stuff coming in, but it's going to be for local shows, unfortunately. And then I personally have some stuff from when I was wrestling on Brainbusters tees. If you just look up Heart Eater Moxie on Brainbusters, I do have like t-shirts on there as well.
Okay, so aside from them, I'm just bad at putting together ideas. I don't have a shirt yet because I don't know what the hell
we're getting it together.
We're trying.
Getting it together.
We're fucking trying.
It's okay, guys. It's all good. I'm just happy I had a chance to finally have you on the podcast. Again, happy Halloween and hope you guys have fun. Don't kill any children, please.
Try not to.
No promises.
No promises, yeah.
No hard eating any children's hearts. Thank you again. I'm Joe Panther III.
Well, we are the Exiled, and thank you so much for having us on. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween.